Hi everyone. I Lay Down My Life for You by JPEGMAFIA is easily my favorite album to come out this year. This happens every time JPEG drops an album. I don't think anyone's going to be surprised by this if they've been watching the channel for any length of time. I fucking love Peggy, and Peggy loves me because he knows what I want in an album. What I want in an album is really simple. I want a lot of noises, and I want a lot of different noises. And that's all this album is. It's, as Professor Sky put it, a maximalist masterpiece. It is so sonically dense and yet varied in each track, not just across the album, though it very much is across the album, but in each track you get such a different snapshot of what JPEG can make. You get these really metal like riffs and drums and synth layerings, but then you also get these really EDM kind of bass tones and like I don't know, the way the synths and stuff kind of like pitch up and down like that. I don't know how else to describe it. I mean, most of you motherfuckers have heard Skrillex. Imagine Skrillex, but like good, because Skrillex is kind of mid. But that's a different conversation. No, this entire album is just super fucking packed. Like the least packed parts of this album are the two songs that are super light in tone. And even then, they're still dense because Peggy goes fucking insane when it comes to his bars. Like his bars have just gotten progressively better over his career, and he's at the point where not only is he reusing some lines, not a lot, but if you've listened to enough of his music, you definitely know which ones those are. But his jokes have gotten funnier. His kind of jabs have gotten spicier. Like he's just calling out PDF files and rapists now. Like he's just saying fucking kill yourself. And I love that for him. I really do. And no, his braggadocious style, like it's a lot less jarring than I think it was on Veteran, because on Veteran it sounds like you're getting yelled at by a dude on the street. And I did like that, to be fair. Let's be clear. I do like how it sounds. I think Veterans, I can't say I have a favorite JPEG album because I like all of them, I think equally, but Veteran in my heart is my favorite. But this album borrows that kind of ferocity and then turns it up to 11 and puts Peggy in a mansion. And I feel like that difference is really evident, not only in the production, but also, like I said, in his braggadocious rapping, in how he kind of talks about himself and the people around him and people he does not like. And it does a lot for the lyrics on this album, I'm not gonna lie. I also like how he's very self-aware. Like he talks about his previous albums. He talks about how, people who used to fuck with him, who do not fuck with him now, will still fuck with him if necessary. And I think that's like, it's very braggadocious, but in a very kind of honest and earnest way. Like people leave me, but then they come back. Like that's something. That's progressive mentally speaking. But yeah, no, this album's insane. Like I genuinely cannot stop thinking about just wanting to listen to it because I love how it sounds. And the bass on this thing, every song, the bass is fucking crazy. I don't know how he does it, but every album, the bass gets a little lower, but a little higher in the mix. Like lower tone, but higher in the mix. So you hear it more and more every album. Like go listen to some fucking Devon Hendrix, and you're gonna hear it. You're gonna hear it get higher in the mix as you go. But no, it's at the point where like now it's like it's on the same level as everything else, but again, it's still lower than everything else. So it's a very interesting sound. And the only downside of this album, two downsides. JPEG Ultra could be like a minute shorter, and I think it'd be better. It's the only song I don't like, and I don't like it because it just feels a little repetitive with the beat. But that's because of how much fucking variation there is in every other song, because every other song has like 4 to 5 beat switches. And when you're doing that, and then you have a song that has like 2, 3, it feels different. You know what I mean? But that's complaint number one. And complaint number two is that you need good headphones to listen to this. If you're using AirPods, make sure they're like shoved all the way in your fucking ear canal, because that's the only way you're gonna hear everything in the mix. And I don't think that's his fault. I don't think that's Peggy's fault. I think that's just the nature of streaming and modern audio equipment the average person is using on their daily basis. Um, but yeah, I love this album. This album is insane. I can talk about specific sax tracks. Wow, speaking is hard sometimes. Um, it's Hot in Hell. I can't remember the first part of the title. Insane song. The sample, the voice, how like the pitch of it. It's fucking crazy. And again, the bass on that song is crazy. The opening track. I scream this in the mirror before I interact with anyone. Insane. I fucking love it. It's such a mood setter, and the entire album keeps up that mood in some way, shape, or form. I'll Be Right There is a really good kind of mellow track when you're in the middle of it, because like right, it's at the beginning of the track list, and you still have the middle of the album, and the middle of the album still fucks. Like Jihad Joe, Ex-Military, and JPEG Ultra to some extent, they all fuck. They all bang. The closing track, I Recovered From This, I love how it's very soft. It gives you a very nice kind of like almost sleepy attitude. Like it really lets you go off in a mellow tone from the album, which I think you need, because again, this album is like so fucking maximalist and eclectic that you need something soft to finish on, or else you feel like you're just kind of wired after listening to it. The two singles from the album release cycle, they fuck. I didn't like the first one, or not the first, the second one as much when I listened to it, but I hadn't listened to Don't Rely on Other Men because I didn't want to get spoiled, but then I listened to that one because I saw the music video and I was like, what the fuck is going on here? And yeah, I didn't like it out of the context of the album, but in the context of the album, I really like it. Like, I don't know if I can listen to it outside of the album, but if I'm listening to the album, it will not get skipped, if that makes sense. And yeah, no, like, and three minor complaints. One of them's barely even there anymore, and the other one isn't even really Peggy's fault. So the only complaint I actually have about this album is that JPEG Ultra is like 30 seconds too long for me. And that's it. Those are my thoughts, honestly. I could keep speaking, but the more I speak, the more I'm just going to say the same thing over and over. So yeah, obviously this is kind of the return video after a bit of a hiatus. I'm not gonna lie, I just got really burnt out after the semester, and I just wanted to take a break from things that felt like work adjacent. So we're back. I'm gonna try to keep up consistency. I'm aiming for at least one a week, so I might go back and do some older stuff while I wait for newer things to come out. I know King Gizzard has a new one coming soon, so I'm looking forward to that. And yeah, I'm gonna experiment with some other videos, so you'll see newer, interesting stuff going on, hopefully very soon. And yeah, that's it. I lay down my life for you. 9 out of 10. It fucks. I have almost zero complaints, and the one complaint I have is so minimal that I might just give it a 10 anyways. So yeah, thanks for watching.